Good morning, guys. Okay, so today I want to teach you how to name lines, line segments, rays, and points. Now, I'm only using grid paper because it's easier for me to follow along when I'm drawing my lines. So if you guys will get out your math journals and follow along with me. Okay, so I'm going to title my page, Naming Lines. Again, I'm sorry, the messy handwriting, but it's a lot easier doing it on here and recording it. Okay, so the first one we are actually going to name is we want to look at the point. How do we name a point? If I have a point on my page that is, there's the point, and it has a letter above it. We'll call this A. Okay, let me rewrite that A. If I want to ask you how to name that, you simply write the capital letter A. Okay, now, if you want to know how to write a line or name a line segment, remember a line segment has two endpoints. I'll draw me a line segment. Put my dots on the end. Remember, your line segment is closed. It has two dots on the end. Okay, we'll call this line line A, B. Now, if I want to learn how to write that, if I'm looking at a page of a lot of lines and they tell me to pick out a line segment, I would simply write it as follows. I would write the letters, capital, AB, or you could write BA. It doesn't matter which way you write it, A or AB. You will draw a line above it with two dots on the end. I don't know if I can do these small enough. Or you could do BA and write a line with two dots on the end. Okay, moving on. Now, if you need to know how to label array, we'll go with that one. Remember, array is a line that continues in one direction but has an endpoint on the other. So let's draw what array looks like real quick. There's where it continues. Here's my endpoint. We'll name this line CD. Okay, so when you name array, the only difference is you'll start where your endpoint is. So in this instance, it's CD. So we would name it, if I had to label it, C, D, and I would write a line with an arrow pointing one way over it. Okay, that is how you would label a array. Now, if you just want to label a line, not a line segment, not a point, not array, lines are a little bit easier to name as well. So we'll say we just have the line X, Y. And I ask you to name this line or to write it down. You don't have to necessarily draw it out just like you did with the rest. So what you will do is you will simply write the letters X, Y, or YX, and just draw a small line over it. No endpoints, no arrows. If somebody sees these two things, they know you are naming a line. And that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to show you today. Your independent practice will be tomorrow in a Google Docs form. So make sure you do that. Make sure you've also joined the Google Classroom that I created called 4th Grade Math. The instructions for that are back on Monday's assignments if you need to go back and see that. Thanks.